Welcome everybody again to another exciting edition of Boiling at 100. I have with me my good friend Travis Braxton. He is a firearms instructor and he also has his own business, which is called Frontline Defense. Go ahead, Travis. Give us an intro. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Nate the Great, man. What's going on? Thank you for inviting me to the show, man. Definitely been watching some of the series you've been putting out, man. I like some of the information you're putting in, and you're letting people know about what's out here. You know what I'm saying? And some of this stuff can benefit people. Some they can go ahead and use the benefits of it, like other businesses, or putting it out there, man. Just educating people. That's what it's all about, man.
Absolutely. That's what it's all. Yeah, you're right, man. And that's what the show is about. I definitely want to highlight people that I see doing good things and, also helping them spread the word about their business or their craft that they're doing. And then also, like you said, man, you're right. It is something where people can learn, an open source where people can learn about certain things that they might have had, first encounters with, but they've always been curious. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. So tell us a little bit while we're on that. Tell us a little bit what Frontline Defense is all about and what do you do as a firearms instructor?
Basically, man, when I first got into this, man, it's like, man, I wanted to get into something that I feel like, people would love to do. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people like to shoot a firearm and things like that. So I took the initiative. I was reading up on it and everything, and I was like, you know what? I know somebody else that I know that actually have a firearm business, and I felt, they'll pick and choose who they want as far as in their class. So, I say, you know what, I'm gonna take the initiative. Me being a minority, I went ahead and took the opportunity to learn how to be a firearm instructor. So we drove all the way up to Atlanta. I had a 2-day class out there. I had air marshals, I had Atlanta Police Department with me. I had a couple of ATF people with me, and we did all the training and stuff,
nice.
2-day training, learning a lot of stuff up there, shooting past that and everything of that nature, man. And from then on, I just made it my narrative to just go ahead and create something to educate people about firearms, especially minorities, to educate them on firearms and to be able to try to get the younger crowd that actually pick up a firearm without having the right credentials and then wind up getting locked up because they don't have the right credentials to back them from having a firearm. You know what I'm saying? So it's just setting them up for failure if they don't have the credentials. So I put it in my frame to just go ahead and get out here and educate people on firearms and basically let them know what is needed to, you can be that person to tote a firearm and be able to protect yourself. You have a right to protect yourself no matter what, right. But you just going to do it the legal way, not the illegal way.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about different things that's going on. So, but that's the whole purpose of it, to train, educate, and let people know, just basically giving back knowledge to them, spreading my knowledge, whatever I learned, back to them, So
that's what's up. That's and that's a huge that's a huge vision, man. It's definitely really needed right now, especially within minority groups, because we've seen on the news what happens. We've seen some stuff that takes place, and I believe that sometimes when you don't know the right laws or you don't know where you stand with certain rights, in certain situations you can be on the losing side of it because you don't know the rights or you don't have the right information. You know what I mean? Right. So that's really awesome, man. And not only that too, it's funny because you're right. There are some people, unfortunately, out there who will take something like this as an important and choose who they want to give that information, and that's not right. So can you just imagine that there's probably a lot more people out there who are doing that? And that's really big that you are taking that step to say, no, everybody should know their rights, especially with the younger crowd, when we see so many videos today of kids, playing with guns, not knowing proper safety on social media, or wanting to own a firearm and they're doing it the illegal way, like you said, not knowing how to carry it properly. So that's really big. That's really big of you, man. Mad props for that, because I always say it takes somebody to take a stand and look into something. It takes a heart to stand up and say, hey, I want my people to know, so that way we're better off. And that's really big, from a cultural standpoint, and just from being a human being and just a loving, person. And of course, obviously, we both men of God. So you being a man of God too, I know that's also, something divine that comes to you, So that's what's up. So a little bit more, because I know you said you wanted to, kind of teach, and you wanted to share that knowledge. And me and you go a long way. We start off in music, I mean, working at what was the name of that place again? TMC. Hey, way back. We didn't even know each other. It's crazy, man. But we go way back, and it's funny because for us at that point in time, it seemed like the direction was music.
Yeah.
And it seems like out of all of us, me, you, Howard, we got Andy, we even got Josh. It seemed like everybody dispersed in their own area of expertise, and the music is not what's in there. And I think it's so cool because all of us are we're taking on something that is really important. But I gotta say, like, how did this come along? Because I never know you as a gun guy. Like, it's something we never really talked about back then. So how did this, what was it that piqued your attention? Like, did you just buy one day, and then next thing you know, you started buying, you got in, like, you just got addicted, or like, who was it? Did somebody coach you? Like, how did you get into that?
Well, man, to be honest with you, like, I thought it was a trip when I first did it myself. But once I got into firearms, I mean, when I bought my first gun, right? And I went to the range and I see how everybody did their techniques and everything like that. And I started watching a couple ways to use rifles and stuff like that, man. And I kind of was like, man, I can roll with this. And I got a couple, Caucasian people that I know, which is pretty cool, man. They pretty down to earth, man. And I basically was like, yo, like, how we do such and such and this, that, and the third, man. And I got involved in the USCCA, and one of my homegirls, Tig, up in Atlanta, she got me involved in it as well, because she's with USCCA. And she put me on to one of my guys named Stone. There's a guy named Stone. He was an air marshal up in Atlanta. So he actually helped me out. That's where I did my training and everything at, man. And it just came out of the woodworks, dude, because, we was all about music.
You're right.
And I was like, you know what? I see a lot of people getting killed with guns and stuff like that. I had a couple of my family members get shot and killed with firearms. Yeah, so it's like, I want to train people to properly use a firearm, and also to be able to defend themselves when it comes down to it. So you're going to have the proper licensing and insurance once I get done with you and let you know what you got to do, So once all this stuff that was happening, and I seen people dying and stuff from guns and not being able to protect themselves and things like that, I said, you know what? I want to get into the gun field. So, I mean, I've been successful at it so far, man. I got a couple people looking at me and stuff, and
I've seen your graduation class. Yeah. All those, you always share your graduate. I'm like, okay, I see you. That's what's up.
So, I mean, I like it, man. It's fun teaching people how to shoot a firearm, man. I mean, and just to see their face, man, and they get the experience of shooting a firearm for the first time, bro. For the first time, they just light up my day, man. And I like it, that I'd be able to share my knowledge, my wisdom, and pass it on to somebody else, and I look back on it, I get reviews and everything of that nature, and people always hit me back up and say, thank you for teaching me how to do this and do that, and you made my life feel more safer. So that's what it's all about, man. Just helping people to protect themselves, brother.
That's what's up, and honestly, when it comes to that, I know it's kind of a territory that it's one of those subjects that for a lot of people, even men of faith, they kind of get divided on a little bit. Obviously, that's like the one of the major topics in this world. Hey, should we have guns? Oh, we shouldn't have these things, and stuff like that. And that's really, it takes a lot for somebody. I've always said this: we can all sit on the sideline and talk about it, and talk about what should be done, and talk about what shouldn't be, what shouldn't be done. But it takes a man to go out there and actually say, "Hey, listen, I want to teach you guys what the real deal is," so that way And this is not just for that, but I believe that that's something that can help them with voting too as well. You know what I mean? Exactly. Because now they understand the mechanics. They're not just biting into fear. And they're just like, you know what I mean? Like, as you know, I'm a new, gun owner to myself. So I jumped on that.
Yes, sir.
I jumped on that to myself. Man. It was different as a man of God, because, you're taught as a man of God, that your faith, you gotta have faith that God will protect. And I never doubt that. And I still don't. I know God will protect me and mine. Yeah. But I think for me, the X factor was at the time, there were some break-ins happening in the neighborhood. And I was kind of like, hey, like I got my elderly mother, not only that too, but I don't know where me and wife at the time, when we were planning our marriage, I didn't know where we were going to live. And I didn't know I didn't know if we were going to be in a good spot. I mean, thank the Lord, he provided for us and we're in a good spot. But I didn't know if we were going to be somewhere near the hood or somewhere where I should be, cautious about. So you make preparations like that. And it's a real situation when it comes to the doorstep, but it doesn't mean, I know personally for me, it doesn't, it doesn't mean that I've lost faith in God or anything like that. Like, so how do you feel when it comes to, a lot of some of the information that we've been kind of falsely told about gun violence and statistics and, even from like fellow churchgoers who are not, they're not with it. They're like all against it. What kind of feedback, what's your feedback on that? You don't have to go too in depth, I understand, but just what's your feedback on that a little bit?
On that CNN, boy. Nah. But all right, man, I feel like calling on Noah right now, man. Check him out, by the way. But as far as that goes, man, when you're looking at the religion aspect of everything, I look at it like this, right? Yes, God do protect you from certain things. However, just like, I feel like, I just look at it in the sense of like David and Goliath.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, as far as he had the slingshot, protect himself, knock down the giant, stuff like that. But it comes to this sense also, a man marries a wife, has a family, he has to provide, he has to protect them at any cost. You get what I'm saying? So
amen to that. I agree.
Somebody breaks into my house, hurt my children, or try to rape my wife or whatever. I can't just sit there and say, wait.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta make action.
Right.
You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
I agree.
And
100%.
our last resort, when it comes, this is another thing I preach about. And I preach it in my class as well. Your guns is the last resort. You get what I'm saying? It has to be a life or death situation when that comes down. We don't want to shoot nobody. We don't want to kill nobody because of what we believe in our heart as believing in Christ and what is written in that Bible, man. All right? We don't want to take a life. But, however, we are put here to, when we get married and hold down our own household, we are liable to taking care of our family and protecting them through thick and thin, through health, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just look at it that aspect. You know what I'm saying? I understand the religion portion of it, but that's religion. You get what I'm saying? I don't preach on religion. You know what I'm saying? That's religion. That's what rules and everything else. You don't have to have a religion to still have a relationship with Christ.
Amen.
You get what I'm saying?
Amen
You
to
still
that,
have a
yeah.
relationship with Christ and don't have to be stuck in a religion where you can't dress a certain way, or you can't
Right.
wear this, or you can't wear that, or you can't wear a hat or snapback or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
No. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the religion thing, but I do understand where they're coming from as far as the aspect of it. They want us to be one-track minded individuals. But, I mean, like I say, at the end of the day, God gonna take care of it all. And at the end of the day, I don't try to using a firearm is my last resort. So, but I do want people to protect themselves at any cost. To be honest with you, when they say statistics, man, all right, knives is the actually number one killer. So I mean,
don't more people get killed on I-4 than that too? Like
darn near, right?
I mean, come on, man. But you made a really strong statement, and I love what you said. You know, it's a last resort, and I think that one of the fear-mongering thoughts about it is that, oh, you an owner, so you got to kill. You antsy. You mess with me, you gonna get it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, to me, it's like the stigma for MMA, and the reason why I say that is because, you know, there's always a bad group of people that make the whole pot look bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with mixed martial arts and UFC, you know, years back, you remember we used to see them dudes with the tap out shirts with the skulls on it, and they in the bars always looking for, what you say to me, bro? What you say to me? They make it look bad. Yeah, so you always think that the MMA community, the UFC, that they're all about just wanting to fight. They're ready to go anytime. And unless you really looked into any of them as a human being, then you would realize, like, oh, those are just the bad guys. Like, you know, I've had the opportunity of meeting some real fighters, and they'll tell you straight up, oh, nah, man, those are the ones who make it look bad, man. They ain't real fighters. Like, most real fighters are real chill. And the reason why I bring that up is because, like what you said, hey, we don't want to hurt nobody. You know, at the end of the day, it's the last resort. We don't want to take no life. And I like the fact that you said that, because it's really important that people know that there's a heavy responsibility that comes to owning this thing.
Very heavy. Very
heavy responsibility and consequences that you will have to live with, you know, because, you know, we don't live in a Danny Glover society where, and I say Danny Glover society, where you shoot him in the knee and call it a day. No, that's not what is taught. That, you know, because, you know, I mean, there's lawsuits, so we can get into all that, but, you know, but you made a really good point. You made a really good point, even about David and Goliath. And I tell people a lot too, and I, you know, because as believers, sometimes we like to argue about some stupid things when it comes to faith, and, you know, even like COVID, there are people arguing about, oh, well, you're not faithful if you're staying home from church and stuff like that. And I'm like, look at it this way, my dude. Look at it this way, right? Do you got car insurance? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, good. But don't you got faith that God's going to protect you when you jump in your car? Well, yeah, absolutely I do. Well, why do you have car insurance? Because I have to, it's the law. I have to have car insurance. If somebody hits me, then, and I said, whoa, but you have faith. According to your faith, it's not going to happen. So if you know that God's going to protect you, then just save yourself a couple $100.
Yeah. Don't get it.
Nah, man. I got to have insurance. It's the same principle, though. That faith talk, it's the same principle. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can have faith and no protection, but you being wise, you know, we gotta we have to count the times over, and there's wisdom with that. So I really like what you said. You know, we won't dive too much into that, but, you know, we'll leave that alone. I want you calling me Larry King or nothing like that. The CNN name dropping up. You know, I might have tagged them in this post too. But you know, but that's really awesome though. It's 60 minutes, yeah. More like 45, you know. But you know, it's you know, but that's really cool. That's really cool that you're doing that. And so tell me, so you do videos, you do stuff like that. What other services are you doing along with Frontline Defense?
Basically, yes, educating them. It's just basically that, man. I mean, eventually it's going to get to a point where I'm working with ATF. So I'm
Okay.
gonna eventually go ahead and get my federal firearm license, so I can go ahead and sell and ship out more firearms. So
Nice.
that's
Okay.
in case if somebody wanted to buy something from me. And I want to open up my own store, man. Just leave a legacy behind for, you know what I'm saying, my little one and my family. You know, if something was to happen to me.
You want to leave that proverbial shotgun for your son when he gets older, he can use. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up. You know, and everything we do, there's always a legacy. So that, you know, definitely that's good, man. You know, I mean, I know it's something that your son will be proud to walk in your shoes, knowing that, you know. And I think, but again, you're doing a really great thing, you know. And I think that a lot of people are going to respect that because they need to know. You know, I mean, there's people like, you know, because I know people like, for instance, who they've never touched it. They're like, I don't even want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a gun. I don't want to see nothing of it. And you got to teach them. It's because they don't know, and because they don't know and they don't understand it, they fear it. Which, I mean,
exactly,
that's ignorance 101 for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We don't know something and we fear it because we don't know it. You know.
But I got one for you. Check this out. This is what they fear, Nate. Hold on.
What's he gonna get, ladies and gentlemen? What's he gonna get?
They fear it, Nate, for no reason, man. All this is just a machine. That's it. A piece of metal.
Yep.
That's all it is, bro.
Piece of metal. And honestly, the first thing,
this is all you fear. You fear nothing. This is, once you learn how to work this thing, this is all you fear. This is all you scared of.
A tube, a spring, and a bracket.
Once you learn how to work that, man, you shouldn't have no fear, man.
That's
no
what's
fear.
up.
I mean, God wants you to be fearless anyway. Just go after what you're trying to go after in life. This is life in general.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
But that comes with educating them and letting them know and letting them get the experience under their belt, how to shoot different things. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where we step in at, as ones that know what's going on, and we just educate the ones that don't know about laws, pastor doctrine, and all that. So,
do you spend time talking about the emotional and psychological effects of it in your class? Like, do you spend time to go over it with them? Because, you know, for most people in the world, you know, training is one thing, but it's like once the metal, you know, the foot hits the metal, a lot of that emotion, if they don't know how to control it, it's a wrap. So is that something that you go over with your classes and kind of, you know, talk to them about learning how to control things? Like, you give them techniques and stuff like that too as well?
Well, as far as that goes, man, I mean, I do have a portion in the classroom that actually breaks it down, the aftermath effect after an incident happens, as far as shooting somebody or you have to draw a firearm. I gave you step-by-step information, what you need to say, which if you did were to call the police department or whatnot, what to say, and then you just leave it like that. Once the police get on the scene, you drop the gun, do as the police say do, don't say a word, talk to your lawyers and everything of that nature, and then work that out from there. But
that's what's up.
The aftermath of it, you may need a counseling or things like that to help you out mentally. You know what I'm saying? And just know you have a split second, maybe 5 seconds in a gunfight to just know, okay, is this life or death? Is this worth it right now? Is I'm about to really draw this gun out and make this happen? You have to think about that. You got to be quick on your toes with that as well.
Wow.
So, right. I mean, gunfight don't last that long at all. So you have to be really quick and think about it. You can't just, somebody come and attack you with a knife or something, you can't just think about it and maybe don't stab you and twist and turn and gut you open, and it's to be too late then.
Right.
So, I mean, you just have to be quick on your feet and think quick. Is it worth it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I always tell them, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to a situation like that, I always, when you go in any building, man, just know where your exit points is. If you got to run and get out of there, then do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Like I say, a firearm, have it your last resort. Don't let it be your first resort. Think about it, everything. Somebody coming at you, is there an exit spot somewhere where I can go to? Or really just get out of the way, get out of the area, and always be alert. Because a lot of people do this right here, looking at their phone all the time. That's how they become victims of everything.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can get into as far as training and everything, mentally as well. But I mean, it's all pertaining to, how you want to go about it, So
that's what's up. That's really good advice. Really good advice, because, and the reason why I asked that question is, not to test you or anything like that, but it's purely for the sake of, there's people out there that obviously, and even particularly in our community, like, that's the one area sometimes that we ignore, and we don't even realize that, hey, after you pull this thing, it doesn't end there. It's not just, hey, I protected myself and he's gone. No, there's a long journey after that takes
very
place.
Long journey. And when I mean long journey, man, when you say that, that's good to say that. Lawsuits, jail time, trial, civil suits. There's a lot that goes in. It can make you financially broke. It might destroy your marriage if you're married. It might just mess you all up, man, just from that one shooting. That's why I tell people always to have a backing. So, like with USCCA, I'm a fire instructor with them. We have an insurance that you can actually have, which is like a $2 million, $2.5 or $3 million bond. So it covers all your lawyer fees, everything, man. So
that's what's up.
I mean, you got to have that backing, have that insurance there, man. They'll take care of the rest, man. You won't have to worry about it. Because I know a couple guys that actually had to use it, and they only spent maybe, if not one night in jail, and then they was out, and they took care of everything.
That's really important. Wow. And I'm glad. See, and that's the reason why I wanted to ask that, because people, they really don't know, like,
what's out here.
They don't. Most people think that when you think concealed carry, oh, hey, there was a robber, I took him down, and then cops go, okay, cool, thank you, citizen, and then you're on your way. That's it. It's the end of story. They don't understand about, okay, now if there's evidence, we have to figure out what was going on. Like, one of the things that I've heard too is, like, if you are in an active shooter situation and cops come, you need to, like you said, drop your gun immediately. Yeah. And because when they come on scene, they don't know who the shooter is. So they don't. They don't know they don't know who the shooter is. So they look at you and you holding the gun, like, they ain't trying to hear that. Nah, I'm a citizen. Nah, I'm helping. Nope, they ain't trying to hear that, because, like you said, it takes those seconds. And I think we're so accustomed to watching these movies where these just drawn out conversations, like, these Dragon Ball Z moments with these gunfights where they sitting there talking about, if it weren't for you, I'd have been long gone, and give me a second chance, pull the trigger if you. Nah, man, that don't happen in the real world, man. Those things are, you got a split second to think, and it's life or death. And anybody in that decision is going, you just gotta think about it, And I'm asking this question here, because I always want to know your take on, now that you are a firearms instructor, now that you're kind of embedding the training, you've been into it, you've learned a whole great deal. How do you analyze some of these situations that take place in the world when there's, like, officer involved shootings? We don't have to get in the meat of the conversation, you know what I mean? Because I understand, I know that can be a deep and emotional conversation for a lot of folks, but how is it from your side looking into the situation now? And I know that I know that you wear those two hats. You're, man of God plus minority, but how does that man of God, minority, and plus now firearm instructor looking at the situation, do you ever feel like the three, like there's a conflict, or is everything funneled to a general understanding? You're like, I can see how this could have happened, or based on the evidence, or based on what the news is saying, like because of my training, like that's wrong because of this. Like, how do you normally feel about those situations like that you see probably take place?
All right, first thing first, man. The news. Sometimes you can't trust the news. The news is a twist and turn story.
Agreed on that.
All the way around. You know what I'm saying? And it's I believe, you know, the news sometimes can do that stuff to cause chaos inside of the United States to get us another story, the next big thing to me. But
it's dirty laundry.
That's right. So you have to create chaos in order to get the next big thing. So they have to do that kind of stuff to make it, you know what I'm saying, get views on the news and stuff like that. So that's another whole story. But I mean, as far as, you know, with the officers and stuff like that, a lot of times there's not all cops is bad. You get what I'm saying?
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? I got a few cop friends. Not all cops is bad. Some of them are, you know. I do highly recommend that they would do some proper different training or something like that of that nature to trying to nip in the butt of these bad apples that's in the bunch. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, not all African Americans, minorities is bad. Yes, we do have some bad African American minorities. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't give a darn about the law. They'll do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a couple videos where they, you know, just not obeying the law at all. And, you know, the officer would talk to them and they just disobey and just do whatever they want to do. I've seen a couple of those. But then I also seen some where the officer is wrong. So you get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, man. It's like
it's and that's why I said it's a rough conversation. I mean, we want to jump down a rabbit hole because I understand, you know what I mean? But I definitely want to know, and I know why, and the reason why I asked that is because, you know, it's hard sometimes. Like, you know, you see those situations, and you know, I know if it's me, you know, I'm already an analytical type of person, so when I hear stuff, my mind is already like, you know, already trying to get the schematics of what's going on, like a detective. Like, okay, how far was he really? Was it really necessary? Would he have gotten to him? You know, all those kind of things, you know, that a lot of people don't ask. Before I kind of get into the rage of it, I normally really analytically look at the situation and do it. And I'm glad I'm not alone in that process, because just like what you said, there's a lot of times where I too look at certain situations. I'm like, come on, bro, this could have been over like 5 minutes ago if you just would have answered.
Yeah, exactly.
But then there's some situations where I'm like, yo, why is this dude being like that towards him? Like, he didn't do anything. Like, so you're right. Sometimes it's a tightrope. I think for most people, it can be like a tightrope sometimes. You know, emotionally.
It's like a big fear thing, though, in some of the officers, though. Like, some of the officers, they're going to go in fearful anyway, regardless. So they're trigger happy. Now, I'm not saying trigger happy like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to shoot, whatever.
No, I know what you mean.
When you run across these minorities that's, you know, cussing them out and giving them bad attitude and stuff like that, your adrenaline probably going to be pumping, and you know what I'm saying, you stressing a little bit. You're wondering what this dude is going to do next. You get what I'm saying? And one wrong move, you might wind up pulling your gun and then wind up busting them. You get what I'm saying? So I understand it from a cop point of view as well, because of the fact that, you know, I know a couple of guys, like I say, that are cops, and sometimes in their meetings it's stressful, dude. It's really stressful. So like I say, it's not all minorities bad and not all cops bad, but we just need to get into a better stance of communication.
Right.
We need to talk more. You get what I'm saying? So once they get into a understanding of, yes, minorities, you must respect the law. So officers say, put your hands on the wheel, put your hands on the wheel. Don't move. Or just ask them to get out of the car. Let me get out the car, and I'll just stand outside the car. So that way I don't have to go through all this. I get pulled over, keep my hands on the wheel. I got a firearm in the car. I got one in my appendix area. I got one in the dash. Whatever you want to. What do you want me to do?
Right.
You talk about it. What you want me to do? You want me to get out of the car? I'll get out of the car.
You teach them to be proactive rather than reactive.
Right. Exactly. So I
that's
mean,
important.
yeah, it's very important. It depends on how you move. So how you
Yeah.
move and what your reaction is, it might be your outcome. So there's a cause and effect to everything, to be honest with you. So
You're right about that. And I mean, and it's true what you say, you know what I mean? It's like, I know I try to put myself in their situation sometimes, and I kind of look at it like, you know what? I don't know what I would have done in that situation. I probably would have did the same thing. Like, I
yeah,
don't know. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's kind of sometimes, and the reason why that conversation is so hard, because you're right, there is no communication. There has to
yeah,
be that real conversation, just like most things in the world going on today. It comes down to a real conversation that helps
right.
to bring it. You know what I mean? And you have the opportunity to do that in your class, which is so awesome that you have the opportunity to kind of set people up for that too. And it's like,
Yeah.
hey, listen, if you are pulled over and you have it on you, you're licensed, but just because you're licensed don't mean, you know what I mean? Like, so that's
You're
really
out
cool.
of it. You can still go to jail
Right.
with your license.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Wrong move.
You
can still get in trouble.
I heard about that too. So, it was, I think when I was transporting mine, from where I used to live to now, man, I was like, man, I just want to get there, man. Like, I don't want to get stopped and have to say, hey, by the way, listen, just so you know, like, the trunk, but,
Yeah.
but it's crazy, man. Like, it really is crazy. And, I think things now, those conversations are starting to take place, and that's a good thing about it. And we just need more people like you on that front line, which, of course, due to your heading of your business, we need more people on that front line to say, hey, look, this is the information you need to know. That's important, because to be honest, I don't see a lot of minorities teaching stuff like that. There's one guy on YouTube, and I subscribe to him, and he does video, like he pulls whenever there's a shooting that takes place, any kind of shooting, he puts it on his page and he talks about it. He talks about what happened and how it went down. I got a couple friends who are police officers. I got another friend who will be a guest on a later show who's a self-defense instructor, and they always do reenactments of certain things to see what the outcome, if the outcomes would have been different. And one of the things I remember him telling me was they reenact a shooting that took place. It's one of those famous shootings. I won't name what it is, but they reenact the whole situation. They tried to model everything the way it was described in the incident, and they added people who were concealed carry and into the equation. And they were like, because at that shooting, that was a huge topic. Like, there were people who were saying, see, if there was a concealed person there, like, this never would have happened. Like, and they reenacted it several times, and he was just like, honestly, what I noticed is there were more numbers with that, because based on what they were saying is, there's people running, and we saw that there were people running, and the people who were holding, they did not have a clear line of sight with all the chaos, the noise. They were just kind of staying there, like kind of waiting for a clear shot. And some said that that when they pulled, they got somebody else, and I thought about that, and I was like, well, that's really cool. I think that's information that you should share. And, and when I talked to him about that, he was just like, would have helped? Sure, absolutely. But these are also factors. And he was just like, as a self-defense instructor, he was saying the thing about it is that when people talk about these incidents, they don't talk about the entire situation leading up,
they just talk about
and after. They just think about I just would have pulled out my gun and just pointed, and it's not as simple as that. And that's why training is so important.
It's more into it. Just go deeper than what, like we used to say, is deeper than rap.
It's deeper. It's deeper than that, man. So I know you say you want to do a legacy, and I know that you want to have a shop and everything like that, and you want to go big with it. Were you thinking about any? Did you ever think about like doing like instructing for like law enforcement or military, anything like that? Like doing any like bigger assignments, or you just want to do strictly just training with local people, with citizens, or did you also want to help in that direction too, or you have a wide open door wherever it takes you?
Honestly, man, it's just a wide open door, man. I mean, if it happens, it happens. You know, at this point in time, my whole focus right now is just honestly the people who don't have the knowledge of it. You know,
Right.
um, that's basically what it is, man. I mean, they need it. I can't. I got a lot of minority people that hit me up about doing classes and stuff. I mean, and they admire what I'm doing, man. I mean, they like it. They want to take the class, and I just let them know. Sometimes they even have free classes just to help them out. Like, yo, come in, come on, come
That's
do
what's
this.
up, man. That's
We're trying to
awesome.
help you out, man.
That's
So,
really
I
awesome.
mean,
So you this is a community thing, really, that you're doing. Like, this is a community thing, like, and I think that's really awesome, man. And that's why, I definitely wanted to have you on the show, because when I look at, and I see you like on Facebook, and I see you share your videos and you do that, like, you're passionate about it. I've seen, in the training, and then I see the people who are smiling in the pictures, like, at the end of the class, and I'm like, these are people who are genuinely happy that, hey, well, we appreciate it. So I've seen that too, man, and that's just really awesome, man. And I think you're doing a great job. Definitely keep up the good work, and sky's the limit. I know God's gonna take you far in it, and who knows, maybe you may have an opportunity one day to do some talks, because I know with that, with becoming a fire instructor, you never know, man. You might be a motivational speaker one day, speaking to some people and telling them some of your expertise. Was that something you'd be open to too as well? Like, kind of talking to like new trainees for like fresh on the police force, stuff like that. Like going like to boot camps and talking to them. That's something that you would you see yourself doing, like kind of traveling and more so mentoring gun owners, so to speak.
I ain't gonna lie with you. I would, but my speech is gonna include firearms. Let that be your last resort. All right.
Hey, that's
tasers. Use a taser. Taser's fine. Use a taser. A taser is fine. I mean, if the other person, the criminal, don't have a firearm, use a taser, or just go up and tackle him. Whatever. Come on, man.
I do want to ask you that though, because when I was researching before I became a gun owner, I was researching. I noticed that there was a topic of non-lethal versus lethal, and most of the instructors were highly against non-lethal. I guess the most common answer that I heard was they're saying, hey, if a criminal is high or they're wearing thick clothing, non-lethals may not be as it might just be more aggravating to the situation than actually halting it. But then I've seen some videos where, non-lethal, like for instance, I'll give you a couple. There was a pistol made from burn. It's like a paintball pistol, but it shoots like tear gas rounds. I've seen one where cops were demonstrating it with a mob crowd, and they shot like several of them on the ground, and the people weren't trying to rush through it. They were like, yo, like this is, messing with their sinuses, everything. I seen one where a guy put himself to the test and he got shot with one, and he was like, nah, man, I think if I were trying to go attack somebody and they hit me with one of these, like, I'm stopping in my tracks. So some people rated it high, but then there were some people who were like, absolutely not. Like, non-lethal is not an option. Like, you shouldn't. But what are your takes on that? Have you ever like gotten to that conversation or thought about it or looked into it or even recommended it? What's your thoughts on it?
Honestly, I did recommend it to some people, because some people, they get to a point where they don't want to get to this point where they have to carry a actual firearm. So I did recommend a taser or some some women that you can use a little dagger or whatever, or just different things. I mean, you can use like wasp spray if you have it. It can blind a person. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was coming to your house, spray the wasp spray in their eyes, and they shoot like 30, 40 feet out. They shoot pretty far. They can use that. Just different things, man. But I do recommend to make the firearm your last choice of use. I do recommend non-lethal force. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I have no problem with it. Maybe that'll help you out in a situation. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come up to you and you use that, and you stop them in their tracks, and they go around the other way. You know, at least you ain't have to kill them and have to deal with the police too much. You know?
That's right. You know, it's funny because when I was looking like I said, I was looking online, and I was getting like some like I was looking at the rubber bullets, like some like the paintball ones,
even a bean bag. The bean bag for the shotguns?
Yeah.
There's those too, man.
Yeah, the riot.
Those hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of those. And I was looking at those too before an option to really do it, because I said, man, I'm really not trying to go down that path, but I would do non-lethal before that, like, before as a last option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to get your input on it, and I'm glad that you said that, because I think people don't understand too that there's a lot of non-lethal options out there that you can have for your home that people like. Like I said, I was looking up those paintball guns that they had, those paintball pistols, and they were pretty interesting. Like, just some of them were made for those situations, but I guess I heard a lot of flack back and forth of, no, you don't want to use these. And I understand everybody makes a video nowadays and say, they say that what the best thing is. Everybody's an instructor, but I wanted to ask you because I trust your judgment on it, and you clearly have the knowledge and the training from it, of course, being with UCAA. So, I mean, definitely. So that's why I want to ask you about it. Definitely. But I'm glad you definitely agree with that. Is that something also? So you did you hear the story of the guy who he was about to be carjacked, and there were some people who had a gun at the gas station, and he used the gas pump against them.
Yeah. I've seen that.
I was like, yo.
But they turned around and left. They turned around and left.
I bet he wasn't going to pull the trigger. You would have lit up like a Christmas tree, boy.
But it worked, though, right?
Hey.
Put in Jackie's car, none of that. It worked. So, see, I mean,
use anything to your ability.
Yeah, man.
I like that. I like that. Man. I
mean, you don't have to use lethal force all the time, man. That's what I'm telling you. If you use lethal force, it comes with a lot of consequences, man. And you better make sure your story is right. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have judges and you're going to have jury that you're going to have to convince. Otherwise, was it necessary for you to use lethal force to take that person's life? Right. You can have all your concealed carry state license and all that stuff you want. But when it comes down to it, when them Karens sit there and say that you're guilty for killing that person, you got to do that time.
Yeah, and there is no I thought or I was thinking. No, it has to be definite. Like, this thing is a definite thing. Like, no.
They got to be literally shooting at you, walking up to you.
Yeah. Like, it has to be a definite thing. Like, and I think those are the situations that catch people. Like, a lot of these situations, sometimes you really can't tell what was going on because there was no depth. Everybody's like, oh, I thought. And I mean, you talk about that split second to think. And in that split second, you really don't have time to really process, you know what I mean? And I mean, let alone if you're in home and you wake up in the middle of the night and you see a strange figure or you hear rumbling, those are a little different. But if you're in a situation where, like you're in your car or something like that and somebody got road rage and they start banging on the window, you know what I mean? Even situations like those are a little easier, because you have that time to make a decision, what should I do? But then there's those really crazy decisions like you ain't have to shoot, buddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have kicked him in the balls or something, like, like use your keys and, stick him in the neck or something. Like, you ain't have to,
even when it comes down to the castle doctrine, right? All right. So when it comes to the castle doctrine, did you know that they don't even want you to shoot a person if they come on your property? They want you to go. They want you to go to a designated area where your gun is at and lock you and your stuff up and your family in there and call 911.
The safe room.
Exactly, a safe room. So if they go in there, then you can actually use deadly force. But all the material things, TVs and stuff like that,
wow,
you can't do anything about it. They gotta let it go. It's material things. That's all they care about. If it's material things, it doesn't matter. It can be replaced, but a life cannot be replaced, and that's is why they pushing that the other day.
See, and
they retreat.
That's good information. I'm glad you said that because I didn't know that. I figured because I think people are told the falsehood of, hey, if it's on your property, make sure they're on your property. Like you have every right on your property. But now when you put it like that, it's like, whoa, wait a second. This is different. And I heard that too, because I was watching, there's a guy who I follow the UCAA's, like their channel. They have a guy who he teaches like safety, and he was talking about that. He was like, listen, if you got a safe room, he's like, do not leave that safe room. And he was like, you were to stay there. And that's crazy because like, so you could be in the bedroom and you're like saying, okay, there's a dude out there. I hear him rumbling.
Yeah. Do not go out there looking for that person.
Do not go out in the hallway. Don't even open the door and peek at them. Don't say what you doing, no nothing. You just stay in your safe room. But then if that doorknob turns, then it's game.
It's game time.
Wow.
And even if they retreat, you cannot shoot them in the back. Just know that.
Woo. See? And that's so important because I feel like we're so, you know what I'm saying? Like we're so emotional beings, bro. So I feel like, without knowing this stuff, you just like,
once you draw, bro.
No. Like this dude just walked in my house. Oh, he see you. Oh, no, he got a gun. He running, and then you like pop.
Exactly.
Because you like, oh hell no, you ain't you better leave my PlayStation. You better leave my flat screen. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, you better wave. You better wave and say, hey, look at me. When you turn around, you do what you do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to tell you though. That's the thing. Like, I'm so glad that we're having this conversation because these are things that we don't know. Like, because I think the normal way you just hear about it is like, hey, if somebody, I'm sitting on the couch and they open my front door and say, hey, give me your money, and I can just be like, oh, yeah, sure. Here's like, boom, boom, my wallet right there. Take it. There has to, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy because when
it comes to that situation, when you sit on the couch, like I say, it depends on the situation. You know what I'm saying? If you sit here and you feel like your life is being threatened and they have a weapon pointing in front of you, give me your wallet, then by all means, you got to do what you got to do to get out of that situation. You know what I'm saying? And just make it happen. Knock them down right there on the spot. But best believe if Buddy is retreating and he running away, do not shoot that man in the back. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, I believe you. I believe you because listen, I when I went to insurance school, when I was doing auto and home, they told us about situations like that. I mean, we heard several situations about court cases that actually went to court and won. And one of them was, hey, dude broke into these people's house through the sky roof. They had a glass table, and it looks like he fell through the sky roof, the sky roof. He fell through the glass table, and it must have like cut up some major arteries and had to get surgery. He turned around and sued those people and won.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, if they can do that, ain't no telling what they can sue you for nowadays.
I'm telling you.
Like, it's almost like the best way to really avoid that is basically you either get along with everybody or you just mind your business. Like, because even being out in the world, you know what I mean? You got the right to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you with your wife and your kids and somebody, start roughing up. You're like, hey, man, just chill. Just chill. Please. and grabs a pipe or something, come after you, and you say, hey, back up, I'm trying to tell you, and they take a swing, and I mean, those are situations where it's just like, it can, you did what you had to do. Everybody agrees, but then again, there's those after repercussions. Like, if you ain't kill dude, I mean, let's just put it point blank. If you ain't kill dude, there's that possibility that he can sue you.
Yep.
Well, I was trying to scare him. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was just trying to scare him. And,
when it comes down to that, then man, you're gonna have to shoot to kill. No
that's
witnesses.
Why they train. Yeah, that's why they train you. That's crazy, man. Wow. I'm glad we talked about this, man. Some stuff, man. Because I'm the type of person, man. I'm gonna search my house. I'm like, what? Who in the guest room? Like, hold up. Like,
nah, don't search your house, bro.
But I'm glad for that night, because now I'm just gonna stay in the bedroom, lock it,
lock the door.
Now it's going to the bathroom. Right, your wife is going to the bathroom, and just like, all right, we're just gonna chill here until they leave.
Just call 911.
Yeah, man, just call 911.
If you want to announce it. Hey, I call it 911. They jet out there, cool, but don't leave that room till the police come.
Hey, man, or I mean, and then that's where I think that's what I heard about the non-lethal conversation too, because they were saying you can even get repercussions for using non-lethal, and I'm just like, so really it's like, it's kind of like what you said earlier. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yep.
You can go the route of saying, I don't want to hurt nobody, I'll get non-lethal because I don't want to take nobody's life, but you can put like those rubber bullets in there. They can turn around and sue you because you shot them with rubber bullets, like, or beanbag. You shot them with a beanbag, a riot, beanbag. Now they mad at you, because they got that big old welt on their stomach. You know what I mean? Like, man, it's crazy.
It is, man.
It is crazy, man. I tell you.
The good thing now, we don't have that 10-20 life law down here, man. So
really,
yeah. It's not. They got rid of it, basically. It was too many people getting locked up.
Wow. What is it, like 5, 10, 15 now? Like,
I don't think they got it set up for nothing like that now. I mean, now it's just go pertaining to whatever the judge say or the Karen say, the jury. So.
Man. And then, you know what? And it's crazy too, because even court, you would think that, you know what I'm saying, you're in the right. You're like, listen, ain't no way a jury's gonna sit there and say, you know what I'm saying, like, dude was in his house protecting his family. Everybody's gonna say vote on that, and everybody's gonna say he's right. You know what I mean? Me being in the courtroom and being in a situation like that and seeing how it went the opposite direction, and being also in insurance, it's just like, man, I wouldn't want to be there, man, because I just feel like you never know. Like you said, man, you got them people in the audience who gonna see it a whole different perspective. Oh, well, he didn't have to, like, I don't like, what I mean? Like, it's just, man, there's too many variables. But needless to say, anything, these things at the end of the day, if you don't know about it, they'll scare you. Even knowing it now, it can sound like information that can scare you. But to me, I look at it like it's more wisdom to know the weight of responsibility that you have by owning this thing. You understand? Like, it should give you that much more weight of saying, hey, listen, this is not a toy to play with. Like, this is something serious. You know what I mean? Yeah. So only if absolute last resort. You know what I mean? So I think that when you bring up all those scenarios and you tell people about it and you teach people about it, you're doing a great service to them, because you're kind of wiping away some of those, some of those notions and some of those things that have just been kind of those he say, she said about, gun laws and owning a gun, that people just, they may wikify. I call it wikify because this is something they just heard or looked up online, but really you're telling them, like, no, listen, this is what the law says. There's a lot of weight to this. Like, so that's really awesome, man.
Deep.
Yeah, man.
Definitely goes deep, bro.
That's what's up, brother. Well, shoot, man. I got a couple I got one more question for you. Any shout outs you want to give to anybody special?
Shout out to my USCCA family, everybody who took my training. Shout out to my boy Nate here, man. I do appreciate it, man, for letting me get on the show, man, and talk about something what people really need to be educated on. You know what I'm saying? And this brand gonna go to a whole nother level, man. Especially Boiling Pot. It's going to go to a whole nother level, man. So
absolutely, man.
All this is going to go up. It's going to go to a whole nother level. Do what it's supposed to do, man. And we're going to get it in, man. I mean, we got to get you on the range. I just thought about that, man.
Yeah, man. I haven't been yet.
You got to let me know where you ready to go.
Okay.
Yo, they got this. I usually go to Shooter's World. They got a fully automatic gun experience and stuff you can do. You can shoot 100-yard long range and stuff like that, man. I'm telling you, you can get out. Yeah, you can get out there, man.
After the show, we gonna talk about that. Yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that. I like that. But anybody else you want to thank real quick?
Thank God, man, for being here and being able to do what I got to do. So,
what's up? Cool, man. Cool.
That is, man.
Well, cool, man. Well, like I said, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been a blessing. This has been so informative, and I really hope that a lot of people watch this. I don't even have to ask you what would you tell people who are thinking about buying a pistol, because I think that our conversation covered all that. I really do. So that's why I'm not asking that. Normally, that's my second question. Like, what would you tell new people? But I think we covered that, and I thank you enough, man. You taught me some stuff, man. Like, my whole perspective is like, I'm like blown, like, for real. So I really know that this is going to be really informative for a lot of people, and definitely, man, I hope a lot of people will watch this and that they'll just know that, hey, listen, there's weight that comes with this. There's extreme responsibility and accountability that comes with this, and
it's not a video game and none of that stuff, man.
Right,
like
absolutely.
Real life.
Absolutely. That's what's up, man. Well, I want to thank Mr. Travis Braxton, aka Travie Lee, are formerly known as Crossroads, on the show tonight. It's been a pleasure. Hey, man, we gotta do a show. We gotta do a music reunion show and have everybody on it. So look forward to that, everybody. Next, definitely. And also, if you are curious, if you have any information, at the end of this video, you'll see all of Travis's links where you can check out Frontline Defense Operations, and you'll be able to sign up for classes, and you can stay informed to know when his next class is. Also, you can feel free to hit him up if you got any tactical advice that you may need. He's a good friend, so I recommend him. I know his heart, and hopefully by this video, you know his heart too. Again, I want to thank you all for listening. I want to shout out to my sponsors, Neat Mod. If you haven't been on, go check out their website. They got great gear. They got hats, they got shirts, they got workout attire, they got bags, you name it. And then soon they will be exclusively having BoilingAhunnid merchandise. So go check them out. When merch is available, we're going to do something special. We're going to do a special offer for all of our guests. Also, too, we're going to try to, if you've been on the show and you've been a guest on the show, we're going to try and get you a free Boiling at 100 t-shirt so you can spread the word. But other than that, go check out the merch. They are one of our sponsors, Neat Mod. And also, as always, you guys know the tagline is don't quit, but keep fighting. And we're not done yet, but now we are adding to that, and stay neat, courtesy of Neat Mod. It's been fun, Travis. I love you, brother.
Boiling at 100. Boiling at 100.
You're right. We boiling at 100. That's right. Hey, man, this has been an awesome, seriously, this has been a great show, man. I feel like these shows are getting better and better, and just love the energy tonight. It was there. So we're going to talk, man.
No
Come
problem,
back on
big
the
dog,
show.
man.
Let us know when you're ready.
I got you, brother. Be safe, man.
All right, brother. Signing off.
Peace.